right, so welcome everybody. Welcome to Panther Preview Day. We're so excited to have you guys this morning. My name is Kate Douglas. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions for Events here at Kentucky Wesleyan. And so we are going to go through several different things today. First, we're going to talk a lot about the admissions process, things about Wesleyan in general, just facts that you would want to know about us. We'll talk a little bit about financial aid, academics, our student success opportunities, and alumni opportunities. And then we'll also go into our student panel from there. There will also be an optional tour video at the end if you would like to stay on for that, but you do not have to. So we'll go ahead and get started with our presentation. And Gabby Bradley is going to start with that.
Hi guys, my name is Gabby Bradley and I'm an admissions counselor here and an assistant director of admissions. So I'm super excited to give you guys some more information on Wesleyan. So we will get started with our presentation. If you all have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. My friend Jamie Jackson is monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. All right. So this can kind of give you an idea of where Wesleyan is at in our proximity to some larger places. So Kentucky Wesleyan College is in Owensboro, Kentucky. So Owensboro is the 4th largest city in Kentucky. Our county area has about 100,000 people in it. So we're definitely like a mid-sized city, but then I think the great thing about our location is that we're close to some larger cities as well. So St. Louis is about 4 hours away. Indianapolis is about 3 hours. Cincinnati is 3 hours. Nashville is 2 hours away. Louisville is about 2 hours away as well. And then Lexington is around 2.5 to 3 hours away. So it's really easy if you just wanted to take a weekend trip. You could, hit the road, have a little road trip. We also take our students on a lot of field trips to different places on the weekends. We go to a lot of different like sporting events and concerts in Nashville. So since we're so close to these larger places, it's easy for us to do that. And then that's just a picture of our downtown area. Our downtown was renovated a few years ago. And so we have these fountains here. It's always so much fun to just kind of relax downtown, sit on the swings, look at the riverfront. We also have a lot of local shopping downtown as well. So this is actually one of my favorite places in Owensboro. And I just think that, yep, there's a picture of our downtown area. I just think it's a great place just to hang out, eat locally and shop at some of our local businesses. You can see we have a mellow mushroom there, so that's pretty popular. So it's always fun just to hang out downtown. So just to give you an idea of where our students are from, so 68% of our students are in-state, 32% of our students are from out of state, and they're also from 23 different states, from 4 countries, and we're 20% racially and ethnically diverse. So you will have a lot of people that are from Kentucky, but I think it's great that we have people from all over the country that come to Kentucky Wesleyan. So you really do get to kind of see different perspectives. You get to make new friends that are from different places, and it just really makes our campus community what it is. All right, so student organizations. This is one of my favorite parts about Kentucky Wesleyan is our student involvement. I am the student ambassador advisor, and I've found that most of our ambassadors are also involved in about 3 or 4 other clubs. They are typically involved in an athletic team as well. So with us being a smaller college, we have about 900 students. It's very easy for you to get involved in multiple things. It's easy for you to be a student athlete and still be in a club. It's still easy for you to get involved in everything that you want to be involved in. So our student organizations include academic organizations. So pretty much every major has its own club or organization. We have intramural sports, which I think is so much fun. If you enjoy playing a sport, but you don't want to play it competitively, like bowling, for example, it's a lot of fun to be a part of an intramural sports team. So that's an opportunity for you here at Wesleyan. We also have cultural organizations. We have Greek life. So we have 3 fraternities and 2 sororities. So we do have a smaller Greek life here than at other colleges. And so our Greek life is definitely focused on leadership opportunities. Each Greek organization has its own charity that they support. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for you to grow in your leadership skills. We also have our Student Government Association. They make a lot of decisions that directly impact you on campus. So if you're interested in making those decisions and being a leader on campus, that's something you can be involved in. So we have a variety of organizations, and there's always something for everyone. So once you get to campus, you can definitely discover which club you want to be a part of. And then with our 21 varsity teams, all of our students get into the sporting events free with their student ID. So even if you're not a student athlete, it's always fun just to support your fellow classmates, go to a game, cheer them on. So that's a big part of our campus life as well. So campus events, that's something that I've kind of already talked about a little bit with the field trips we take, but then we also have a lot of on-campus events as well. So our K-Dub Idol, that is our most popular event that we have on campus. Every Tuesday in February, our students compete against one another to become the K-Dub Idol. So it works the exact same way as the regular American Idol does. So that's always fun to see everyone perform, and you get to vote on your favorite performer. We also have midnight movie once a month. We rent out our local movie theater for that, and our students vote on which movie they want to see. Our ice cream social, that's when you can actually check out the different clubs and organizations on campus. Each club sets up its own table, so you can see what they're all about, and you can see which clubs interest you. Hanging of the Greens and our Thanksgiving dinner, that's kind of like our holiday event that we have, where we hang up all of our Christmas decorations. We have Thanksgiving dinner, worship in the Grove. That's always a lot of fun. Along with our chapel services every Wednesday. We have Greek week, bingo nights, trivia nights. At those bingo and trivia nights, you can win gift cards. You can win some more practical things like toilet paper, shampoo, and conditioner. So that's always fun. Holiday World, that's one of our field trips that we take each year. And then Lessons and Carols, that's our Wesleyan Singers group, our choir on campus. They put on a performance each year around the holidays. So there's just a variety of different things that you can do on campus. There's always something going on. And we have over 200 events. And each week you get a schedule of events sent to your email. So you always know what's going on, and there's always something to do. Our residence halls. So we have 5 residential options here on campus. So Deacon, Peoples, and Kendall are primarily for our freshmen. And usually Massey, that is an upperclassman residence hall. It's suite style. And then our stadium apartments, those are for upperclassmen only. So as a freshman, you have a few options for where you want to live. All of our primarily freshman residence halls are community style, meaning that you share a bathroom with everyone on your hall. But it's not as scary as it seems. The community style bathrooms are actually a great way to meet people just coming in and out of the bathroom. And our facilities team, they clean those every day. So they're clean, and it's really not as scary as it seems. And then obviously you live in the room with one other person, your roommate. And that's just a great way for you to kind of have a built-in friend as soon as you move in. And each hallway has its own residential assistant, and that is a student that just oversees everything. They make sure that you're safe, that everyone is doing what they're supposed to do and everything is going well for the hallway. So you have that person there in case you do need something. So living on campus is a great experience. You're just about 5 minutes away from everything that you need. So if you see those pictures, that's just kind of what you can expect the room to look like. That's what you can expect when you live in a residence hall on campus. You're free to kind of decorate it however you want. So that's something that's always fun. And if you ever come on campus for a tour, you actually get to go in Kendall Hall and see one of the rooms. So that's something I would definitely recommend. I would recommend visiting campus if you're interested in living on campus. So what does Wesleyan look for in a student? So first of all, for just admissions requirements, we are test optional for fall 2021. So that means that we aren't looking at your test scores in order to admit you. If you want to submit test scores, you can do that, but that's not really a main requirement for admission anymore. So what you'll need to do in order to be considered for admission, you're going to submit your application for admission on our website. It's free. We don't have an application fee. You'll submit your high school transcript to us, and then you'll either submit your ACT or SAT scores, or you're going to submit a personal statement via the application. So that's what our admissions process looks like. So that's the first step to becoming a Wesleyan student. So for our fall 2020 entering freshman class, their average GPA was a 3.45. But you can see we have some students that are below that, some students that are higher, but that's just our average student here. And then their average ACT was a 22. So that's kind of what you can expect academically for our students. Just like with the GPA, we have some students that have higher scores, we have some students that have lower scores. So just some of the things that we're looking for in a high school senior. We're looking for someone that they want to be involved in leadership positions. They're interested in those internship or part-time job experiences as well, that correlate with their major. And we want someone that is interested in service to their church or their community. Kentucky Wesleyan really cares about the Owensboro community, and our students do a lot of community service projects and things like that. And with our Methodist connection, we do have, like I said, chapel services and a really involved campus ministries team. That's obviously not something that you have to be involved in. But if you are involved in that currently in your church at home, in your hometown, or if you're involved in community service, you would definitely fit in here at Wesleyan as well. And we want to see your extracurricular involvement because, like I said, our students definitely get involved here on campus. They plug into their different clubs and organizations. So that's something that you can continue here at Wesleyan as well. Cost opportunities for financial assistance. So the financial aid talk, always so much fun. So for 2021 to 2022, our tuition and fees is about $29,660. Our room and board is $10,500. We do have some residential options that are a little bit cheaper, some that are more expensive than the cost that we have here. This is just about the average cost for a freshman to live on campus, also including your meal plan. So then your total cost of attendance is $40,160 for the year. But please don't get sticker shock because 98% of Wesleyan students receive financial aid. It's pretty rare that I have a student where their cost of attendance is actually $40,000. We definitely want to make sure that if there's any scholarships or financial aid that you're eligible for, that we walk you through that process so you can receive those. So each of our students receive a merit scholarship depending on your GPA. Since we're test optional this year, your ACT or SAT scores aren't factored into that. It's solely your high school GPA. So you will receive a merit scholarship here. So those merit scholarships, they range from $6,000 to $10,000. So that's something that you'll receive for each of your 4 years. And then we have talent and other scholarships for our students. If you're interested in being a part of Wesleyan Singers or our band and theater groups, we also have our Kavanaugh Scholarship for our Methodist students, and our Legacy Scholarship if you have a parent or a grandparent or a sibling that has graduated from Kentucky Wesleyan, you'll receive a scholarship for that as well. But on our website, we have a full list of all of the scholarships that you can apply for separately. Your admissions counselor can also point you towards scholarships that we offer that they think that you should apply for. So definitely just reach out to your admissions counselor and see what they think that you should apply for. Because like I said, we definitely want to assist you in any way that we can, so you can get the full bang for your buck here. And we want to make sure if you are eligible for something that you apply for that and that you can receive that. So value and quality. So our institution is about $10,000 to $20,000 cheaper than other private colleges here in Kentucky. So you definitely get that private college experience, but you're getting it at a cheaper cost. And we were ranked 18 for best college in the South by the U.S. News and World Report. And then we're also the best Southeastern college by the Princeton Review. So I know you might have seen that cost of attendance and you were like, wow, that's a lot. But you will be getting the most for your money here at Wesleyan because you're getting that small environment. You're going to build those personal connections with your professors, with your classmates, and you're going to grow as a person as well. So you're going to get the best education possible at the best value possible. And you have people to help you through the admissions process, to help you with scholarships and financial aid, to make the whole process as easy as possible. So you'll see that personalized touch that we have from the moment your admissions counselor reaches out to you. So that value and quality that we offer is definitely there. All right, we are going to play a video for you that's featuring one of our professors here on campus. And you're gonna see him talk with one of our current students just about that academic experience that I kind of mentioned earlier. So you can hear firsthand from a student and a professor to see that relationship between our professors and our students. So Kate is going to play that video and I'm going to mute myself.
Hey guys, it's Kate in the admissions office. So today we are going to talk about academics and just the relationship between professors and students here at Kentucky Wesleyan. So guys, would you all like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, I'm Bailey Woodall. I'm a senior here at Wesleyan and I'm studying communication arts and I'm emphasizing in PR and advertising.
And I'm Andrew Boland. I am professor and program coordinator of communication arts and Bailey's advisor for her journey here at Wesleyan.
Great. All right. Well, thank you both for joining us.
Anytime.
So first of all, Bailey, we'll go to you. Can you just tell us a little bit about your academic journey here at Wesleyan? You know, what are the relationships like with your professors and how have they helped you along this journey?
So I started out as a CART major. I really liked it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just thought maybe I should do business instead. So I changed it. And I think it was one of my business professors actually who was like, I don't really think this is for you at all. I was like, what do you mean? She was just like, I don't think you like it. And I was like, I think you're right. And so I switched back to being a CART major and Professor Boland was actually new when I did that. And honestly, it made my experience a whole lot easier and better in communications. I feel like we really related on a certain level compared to what I would have before. I think one of the easiest parts with Bolin is he really cares about his students, every single one, like not just me, but every single person in his classes. He cares about our futures maybe even more than we do. And so that's really nice. He also pushes us in like the certain direction that we're looking to go towards. So like, I really want to be in social media marketing, and honestly, he looks at jobs for me in my future more than I do. And I think that's really special and important here. So, yeah.
Very cool. Thank you. Well, so he's your advisor.
Yes.
So Professor Bolin, can you kind of speak to that? What is the advisor-advisee relationship like here? What, from your perspective, is the student-professor relationship like here at Wesleyan?
Yeah, so, in the first year, students are in what we call KW 101. And this is an opportunity for students to really get to know college and get to experience what Wesleyan's like. And while we may have some of these freshmen in especially our 100 level classes, we really don't get to advise them until they become sophomores and juniors. So they actually have a KW 101 advisor that they're meeting with that kind of navigates the very basic intro to college with them and sort of lays that foundation. And then especially once they've declared their major and they start thinking about kind of their pathway, then they come into their program and we start to advise them. And as Bailey mentioned, one thing that I really strive to do is work with the students, figure out what they enjoy, what makes them want to be this major, and how we can kind of navigate them into those career paths. We have two majors emphasis. Bailey's a PR advertising emphasis, and then we have a media studies emphasis. And, while they're still CART majors, they really do two different things. Mm-hmm. And, Bailey was one that early on really had that knack for public relations and making those connections and a real people person, getting out there and just talking. And so we worked together, and another professor in our program worked on getting an internship for Bailey that sort of explored these opportunities. And, that's one thing that I love about our program is we have these opportunities for internships and practicum where students can really get a feel for what it's like to be in this workforce. Bailey mentioned switching majors from a business major. Until you're in the middle of it, sometimes you don't understand if this is the right major for you or not. And so having these opportunities to explore the field really helps. And Bailey interned with a local company here in Owensboro. I think she loved it. She had good things to say about it, good opportunity. And we know that a lot of these internships lead to first jobs. Mm-hmm. And as she said, she's a senior now. And so right before we started this conversation, we were having our own sidebar about careers. She's looking to graduate in May. And what does this look like? Exactly. And so, whether it's grad school or whether it's career paths, part of what I feel our role as advisors is really to help students understand what's next. There's so much hand-holding that we can do, but we really need to help them see the potential that they have, because we've seen it from a professor standpoint, that they have the knowledge, we've given them the skills that they need, and they can go out and do what it is that they want to do.
Yeah, great. Bailey, now that we've talked about internship a little bit, do you want to speak to your experience of internships and kind of those other hands-on types of experiences that are offered here?
So I interned for Kentucky Legend. I was an intern for their marketing team. They sell like hams and meats and stuff like that. And I actually got it because another professor, Professor Neely, she brought in the marketing team in one of our classes to kind of explain what they do, what their everyday looks like. And one of the girls on the marketing team now is a previous graduate from here. And I actually contacted her and I was like, because I know she started there as an intern. So I was like, is there any way like I could do what you did and be your intern? And it ended up working out perfectly, and I did it. And it was awesome. Like, I did their websites, I did social media marketing for them. I got to sit in on meetings and get like relevant experience as what a marketing meeting would look like. They do cooking shows. I was able to sit in on their cooking shows. I think that was the
I've
best
seen
part.
those before, and they're
Right?
cool.
They're
Yes.
so good. And like the things they do with food to make it look the way it does on a commercial is incredible. So I think that was one of the coolest parts. I feel like the biggest thing at Wesleyan is getting relevant experience. And I think that's what most professors here do best, is finding us things to do while we're still in school to figure out what we're going to do after school. So I think that's the most important part of my academics here, is honestly the relevant experience.
I remember when she came and she was like, "Hi, Bolin, I got this internship at Kentucky Legend." And I was like, "Not ham? Like, what are you going to do with ham, right?" And then, we start exploring this idea, and it's just like, there is so much to marketing that you don't realize,
No, it's huge. And like, since they sponsor so many things in Owensboro, they're in control of so many different events. And like part of communications is doing events and coordinating events. So getting to see them coordinate huge events like downtown was also really helpful to me, because it made me realize, I kind of like events. That might be fun.
Very cool. That's awesome. Well, as far as, once you graduate, go into careers and things like that. I mean, I know I can speak to my personal experience of my professors, being references for me and things like that. Bailey, I know you're not quite there yet, but do you all feel like, Wesleyan, with our small class sizes and building those personal relationships, is that something that's going to benefit you even after you graduate?
100%, because Bolin knows me, he knows my personal life, he knows my personality, and that goes for most of our professors because we have such a small class size. So they're going to be able to personally write you a letter of recommendation if you need it and know exactly who they're talking about. It's not going to be like a basic letter. It's going to have details about us and our personalities. So I think that's huge for employers to see, because they know who they're actually getting instead of just your basic letter. So I think that's important.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Not that I know of.
Good.
Okay, just wanted to make sure before we end. Well, thank you both so much for sharing with us. Bailey, good luck with the rest of the year.
Join the meeting.
Awesome. Well, okay, so let me go ahead and switch back over to the PowerPoint, but we just wanted to show you all that video so that you could hear from yet another current student and one of our professors here, just to see what that student and professor relationship is like here at Wesleyan. I do think that that is a very special thing here, and it's something that you aren't going to get everywhere. So that is something that does really set Wesleyan apart. And that's something that we even look for as we're hiring our professors, that these are people who want to build relationships with you as a student. That's something that is very important to us. That's part of our culture here at Wesleyan. And so that is something that we definitely emphasize here, both with our students and with our professors. Okay. All right, so going along with the academic experience, you saw from the video that we really refer to our professors more so as student-centered mentors. That is probably a better description for their role here on campus. We want you to get to know your advisor, especially. That person is going to help you with your schedule. It will be someone within your major field after your freshman year. Typically, when you come in your freshman year, you'll have someone who is your KW 101 professor, and that is a class that just specifically introduces you to Wesleyan. Professor Bolin mentioned that a little in the video, but it introduces you to college in general. We understand that that is a big transition going from high school to college. So it helps you with that transition, but it also introduces you to life at Wesleyan. So your professor for that class will be your advisor for your freshman year here at Wesleyan. Once you get into your sophomore year, you will be assigned someone within your major field. So freshman year is definitely a great time to explore your options. If you are undecided on your major, that is perfectly okay, and we definitely welcome that at Wesleyan. Just to give you an idea, our class that entered fall of 2020, the largest declared major was actually undecided. So that is definitely something that we encourage actually, and you have plenty of time and different ways to explore your options your freshman year. But once you do get your major specific advisor, that person is someone that we hope you will really build a close relationship with. As Bailey said, it's someone who's going to know you as a full person, know your personality, know all of your interests. That person can help you find internship opportunities, part-time job opportunities. That person can suggest, maybe certain research projects for you to participate in. But they really are more of a mentor as far as, building that relationship with you versus just a professor who's going to, stand in front of the class and give lectures, and that's the extent. So that is something that we definitely look for and encourage here at Wesleyan. To give you an idea of what to expect within the classroom here, we do have a student to faculty ratio of 13:1. So again, that just allows you to build those more personal relationships because we do have such a small student to faculty ratio. The average class size is about 20. So that really varies depending on the class that you're in. I would say probably the largest class you would be in would be maybe 40 to 45 students. And that would probably be one of our general education required classes. Since everyone on campus has to take those tend to be the larger classes. Once you're within your major, depending on what that major is and which class it is that you're taking, you could have classes that are maybe 10 people, maybe even 5 people. So it really does vary, but our average is 20. And then all of our classes are taught by our faculty. Our faculty are truly experts in their fields. That's another thing that we look for when we are hiring our faculty members. Most of them do ongoing research within their field and things like that as well. So some of the other types of academic opportunities outside of the classroom that you'll have at Wesleyan, we do offer a lot of study abroad. So global study, if that interests you, that is definitely something that you can do while you're here. We have an office here on campus called CEDL, and that is just a shortened version. Their full name is the Center for Engaged Teaching and Learning. And they handle a lot of different things on campus: service learning, volunteer opportunities. There's a program called Bonner Leaders I'll mention a little later, but they also handle study abroad. So if you are interested in studying abroad, there are a variety of opportunities, and you would just go to the CEDL office and kind of discuss some of those opportunities and decide what fits you best. But we do have some summer opportunities. So if you don't want to take a full semester during one of your years, you can go over the summer. That tends to be a popular option for sure. But we do also have some semester-long opportunities as well. So if you would like to take a full semester and go live abroad and study while you're over there, you would have that opportunity. And then we do even have some shorter term trips. For instance, I know that this coming spring, they're already planning a trip to Ireland, I believe. And that will probably be 2 weeks long. So they tend to have 2 to 3 of those trips planned every year. They're normally led by some of the members of our faculty. So some of your professors would lead those trips. And they are shorter term ones, but they often will have a certain number of credits, maybe 3 credit hours of a history class that would go along with that experience. So you can actually earn credits while you're on this really cool 2-week trip. So a lot of students do take advantage of that opportunity for sure. We also have already mentioned this, but internships are very, very emphasized here at Wesleyan. We think that that is a very important part of your academic experience because that is especially getting you into the field that you're looking at going into. Just speaking from personal experience, internships do often lead to jobs, just as Professor Bolin mentioned as well. So that is something that we are going to definitely encourage you to take advantage of and to look into while you're here. Your professors are definitely going to be able to help you look into some of those opportunities. We also have a great alumni network that can offer, mentors and things like that. But often we have alumni who have businesses that are in the fields that you are studying. And so we might be able to set you up with an alumni for an internship. And then we also have an office here on campus specifically dedicated to career development. And she is also able to help you find internship opportunities. So that is something that, again, is very encouraged, and you have multiple routes of how to find those opportunities. I mentioned research earlier, but research is another big thing that we definitely emphasize here. You kind of traditionally think of research within those natural sciences fields, but we actually have research opportunities within other types of fields as well, such as criminal justice, psychology, exercise science, things that you wouldn't traditionally think of as heavily research-based maybe. We have research available in those as well. And as I mentioned earlier, often your professors are very involved in research while they're here on campus. So often our students get opportunities to help their professors with this research. Just as an example of that, one of our chemistry professors, she had a side research that she was doing that was all about researching to find a cure for cancer. She did cancer research on the side, was able to bring in all this really cool equipment specifically for this research. And a lot of her students over the years have been able to help with that research. And that is great experience to have to put on your resume and just to build you as a person and to help you understand and build experience within that field. Service learning is another opportunity that we do have. So as Gabby mentioned earlier, community service is certainly something that is important to us, that we value here as a campus. And so we do offer, even beyond just normal community service, we offer service learning opportunities. And the CEDL office is the one who has all of that information as well. So if you are interested in that, you can visit them to discuss that. And then leadership, there are so many different ways to take leadership roles on campus, from student government to various clubs. When we hear from our student panel, you will hear from students who are actively taking leadership roles on campus. And you'll see that there are multiple ways to go about doing that. So I'll kind of let them speak more to that specifically. But if you are interested in leadership opportunities, then this is a great place for you to be. So this is a picture of 2 of our former students when they were studying abroad in the Middle East, and this is them in Jerusalem. Okay, so we do have a 4-year guarantee here at Wesleyan. And what that means is that basically as long as you are doing your part, that you are making satisfactory academic progress, that you are guaranteed to be able to graduate within 4 years. Or, if there's some extenuating circumstance where you've done everything that you need to do as a student, but for whatever reason you are not able to graduate within 4 years, then we as a school would cover your 9th and or 10th semesters to make sure that you are able to get that degree. So we do also offer a 3-year degree program. That is only for specific programs. So that is something that if you're interested in, you'll want to talk with your admissions counselor. Just let us know that you are interested, and we can put you in touch with the right people in that particular academic program to see if that is an option for the academic program that you're looking into. But it is a great opportunity if that's something that interests you. I know a lot of students who plan to do grad school after their undergraduate degree with us. Sometimes they want to look into that opportunity just because that does cut off an additional year. And it also saves a little bit of money on tuition dollars as well. So the next several slides are just what we call Wesleyan by the numbers. So these are just kind of some interesting numbers that you might want to know as you look into coming here. So we do have 40 majors and pre-professional programs. We actually were #1 in Kentucky on the CPA exam in the fall of 2015. So we just happened to be #1 that year, but we are always very high on that list. We have an excellent pass rate on the CPA exam. So if you're considering accounting, this is a very great program here at Wesleyan. We are one of only 16 private colleges in the nation with a zoology program. So you will definitely meet some zoology students when you're here. We may have some of you who are joining us today that are interested in zoology. And zoology is a rare program to offer. So we're really proud of that program. We're excited about it. It is a fun program. So if that does interest you, we do have zoology here at Wesleyan. We also have some programs that are accelerated. So what that means is that you actually basically get to take, a year or so off of your school, your total school, because we have certain partnerships with schools that allow you to basically skip a year and go ahead and go into your grad school experience early. So one example of that is this accelerated law program. It is a 3+3 program. So that means that after completing your 3rd year here at Wesleyan, you have the opportunity to enroll at the School of Law at U of L. So that is a very, very cool opportunity. If you are considering law school ultimately, I highly encourage you to look into this. I believe that you apply for it your sophomore year. So you do have a little time to think about it while you're here, your freshman and first semester sophomore year, but that is a very cool program that we do have students take advantage of all the time. So our top majors, biology and chemistry, business administration, communication arts, that's the one that Professor Bolin and Bailey are within, criminal justice and criminology, exercise science and health science, and then psychology. So these just tend to be our most popular majors, but all of our major programs truly are great programs. We have some, we've won awards for different programs such as graphic design and things like that. We have a lot of programs to choose from, so I definitely encourage you to go to our website, kwc.edu, click on academics, and you can search through each major, minor, and pre-professional program and just read more about those. You can, look through the list of the classes that you would be taking for those programs, see what other types of opportunities are available within those programs, and even read a little bit about the faculty within those programs. Another accelerated program that we have is our 3+4 accelerated pharmacy program. So this one, after completing, again, the third year at Wesleyan, students can enroll at the UK College of Pharmacy. So it works the same way as the U of L 3+3 law program, but this one is for pharmacy and it's at UK. Okay, so quickly, I also just want to introduce you all to our Academic Support Services and Career Development Office. This is kind of the side of academics that you don't often hear as much about. And so I just want you all to know about the opportunities that are here at Wesleyan, because these are offices that are very important to you as a student. So I want you to know what they do and how you can take advantage of those programs that they offer. So our Student Success Center, they offer peer tutoring. That is free tutoring. They have a schedule posted every single week that they email out and that they also have posted outside of their office. And peer tutoring means that this is a student who's probably a junior or senior. They have taken this class, done really well. They excel in this particular subject, and therefore they are able to tutor it as well. Our tutors are paid positions here on campus. So just FYI, as you get into your, especially junior and senior years, if you are really excelling in a particular area, that is a potential part-time job that you could look into. So it's a really cool opportunity to take advantage of our tutoring, or maybe even to become a tutor. The Student Success Center also offers study sessions, reading and study strategy assistance. So if you get to college and find, the ways that I've always studied in high school, they're just not working here and I can't figure out why, you can go to the Student Success Center and they would be happy to help with that. They also do a variety of workshops. They have study skills handouts, again, just to help you kind of figure out what methods of studying will work best for you. Supplemental instructors, that is a really cool opportunity. I always call it tutoring ×5. It's basically just even more in-depth tutoring. A supplemental instructor is, again, an upperclassman who has taken a particular class, really excelled in it, and then they actually sit through that class again, and they can offer study sessions, tutoring. They are just there to help as a supplemental instructor. And sometimes you may feel more comfortable going to a fellow student than going to your professor. We hope that's not the case because our professors really want to get to know you, but this supplemental instructor would be a current student who is also able to help, and very strategically, because they are sitting through that class again with you. We also have the interpretation of the learning and study strategies inventory available. So if that interests you, you can take that through the Student Success Center. So our Career Development Office, the director, her name is Deb Jones, and she handles a lot of different things on campus. And these are opportunities that I really encourage you to look into, even starting your freshman year. That is something that I can speak personally. I wish that I had visited the Career Development Office earlier in my college career, just to help you really think through some of those things. What fits well with your personality? What are some internship opportunities you can go ahead and start looking into, maybe even your sophomore year? Maybe you just want to job shadow your freshman year and really explore your options. These are all things that she can help with. So she will do individualized career planning. She has job postings that she will send out all the time on social media, through email, things like that. She also helps with resume and cover letter development. She will host a number of different workshops throughout the year. She has career and grad school fairs that she holds, mock interviews. This one is very helpful. I hear from people all the time that they really love this particular event because it does allow you just to get to practice answering, kind of typical interview questions. That is definitely a great way to prepare for your time post-Wesleyan. We also have something called the Wesleyan Edge program. I don't really have time to go into too many details on that here on this call, but it is a really cool program that you'll find more information about at future Panther Day. If you decide to come to Wesleyan, you will definitely hear about the Wesleyan Edge program there, and throughout orientation, you'll also get to hear about it, but it is a very cool program that she offers through career development. And then we also have business etiquette and networking events that are available as well. She holds a business etiquette dinner every year. And so that is where you just get to have a dinner. It's set up like a business dinner so that you know the etiquette of a business dinner. If you've never done that before, you don't necessarily know that. And so that's, again, just to prepare you so that once you get into those opportunities within your field, you're ready for those. So outcomes is definitely an important conversation. So we have graduates from KWC who go into so many different fields and businesses. Those three at the top, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, and CNN, we have had graduates in leading roles at these three international brands. We have a senior vice president at Coca-Cola, a corporate vice president at Microsoft, and an executive producer at CNN. So that person is responsible for what you see on television on CNN, which is pretty cool. We also have a lot of graduates who are entrepreneurs. For whatever reason, we do have a large percentage of entrepreneurs that graduated from Wesleyan. So some of them start their own businesses. Some of them just really go back and grow their family businesses. But these three on the middle row, those are all businesses started by entrepreneurs who graduated from Wesleyan. Waxworks in the middle there, that one in particular, that one was founded by Terry Woodward. And he actually has a scholarship named after him now, and our business floor in our administration building, it is called the Terry Woodward Center for Business Studies. So he's very involved on campus still. Waxworks is in a business here in Owensboro. And it transitioned from a small record store back in the 1960s to the largest tape and CD store chain in the nation. And then to the leading DVD and sports licensing distributor in the nation. So competing, directly with Hollywood companies like the Warner Brothers. So it is a really cool business. And he, again, is very involved as an alumni. As you look at that bottom row, we also have graduates who choose to use their education for a variety of purposes to benefit youth, the world, different social causes. So we do have quite a few graduates that have gone into the Peace Corps upon graduation. If that's something that you're interested in, again, we are very service oriented here. So we think that that is such a cool opportunity. And we do have a number of graduates that have done that. We also have a lot of education majors here on campus, and our education programs are very strong ones. I actually have been told by our director of the education programs that she often has local and regional high schools, elementary schools, middle schools. They will come to her and say, hey, we are going to have these openings this coming year. Who do you have graduating? So that tells you just the high quality of our programs, that the schools who are hiring come to her directly and say, who do you have graduating? We want this person. We also have Kentucky Bioprocessing here in Owensboro, and it's a research firm that uses plants to develop vaccines and other treatments. They have been working on a COVID vaccine. So we do have a lot of students that will maybe internship with Kentucky Bioprocessing, but we also have a lot of graduates that end up working at Kentucky Bioprocessing. So this picture is just one example of one of our very cool alumni. I actually mentioned her earlier, but this is Lydia Dorman, and she's a 1982 graduate. She's the one I mentioned who is the senior vice president at Coca-Cola Japan. So this is our former president with Lydia, and we just think that she has a very cool success story. All right, so just to quickly touch on your next steps again, if you have not done so yet, I know that some of you may be a little younger, maybe it's not time for you to apply to college yet, and that's perfectly fine. Whenever you do hit your senior year, these are the steps you'll want to take. If you are looking at starting fall 2021, I definitely encourage you to apply to Wesleyan right now if you can. You can go to our website, kwc.edu, click apply, and it is a free application. Definitely encourage you to visit campus, whether you are a freshman in high school or a senior in high school, or maybe you're looking to transfer to Wesleyan from another college. Visiting campus is really important and gives you a good idea of what to expect here. There's nothing like actually visiting campus to help you understand the culture of a school and just to see if it feels like a good fit to you. And then if you haven't yet, we also encourage you to file your FAFSA. That is a very important step, especially so that we can get you a financial aid estimate and can start talking scholarships and different financial aid opportunities with you. Okay, and so we are going to go into our student panel now. And so I will let Jamie introduce himself.
All right, before we do that, Kate, to talk about the visits, if you are a senior right now or you're transferring and you're going to be coming to Wesleyan or looking to come to Wesleyan this next year, we have our own little stimulus that we're doing. We're doing a $1,000 scholarship for all of those seniors or transfers. If you visit campus, that $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to you for visiting. I'm not sure if we're going to do it for future classes, but that's definitely something we're doing right now. But anyway, I'm Jamie Jackson, Senior Admissions Counselor here at Wesleyan. I'm also a regional counselor, so I live and work in the Louisville area. So unfortunately, I'm not really on campus as much as everybody else. But yeah, so what we're going to do now, I see three of us. Is Vinny in here too? I don't see him on my screen. I think, okay, there he is. All right. So what we'll do, we'll just go by last name, alphabetical order. So you'll start us off. Just start with name, major, where you're from, and then anything else you'd like to add into.
Hey guys, my name is Will Boltinghouse. I'm actually from Owensboro, Kentucky, and I love K-Dub. It gets, it's just, I love it. But I'm a math and chem double major, and I'm a junior. So
I think I'm next. My name is Sarah Durth. I'm a senior. My major it's a little long. It's business administration with an emphasis in marketing and a minor in communications with emphases in public relations and advertising. I'm from Muhlenberg County, which is just about 45 minutes away from campus. My mom actually went to Wesleyan, so I grew up kind of hearing about it. And I'm a cheerleader, and I am a member of the Kappa Delta sorority.
Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Cluse. I'm also a junior. I'm from Las Vegas, and I'm an elementary education and special education major.
Hi guys, I'm Vincent. I'm a junior as well. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm a business administration major with a general emphasis, and I'm a economics minor.
All right, we're going to go in reverse order this time. So Vincent, you get to start here. What is your favorite class and why?
So my favorite class right now would have to be economics of health and healthcare. So being able to analyze, I guess, our healthcare system here in the U.S. and being able to understand how, I guess, money influences the decisions we make is what makes it my favorite class, essentially.
Awesome. My favorite class right now, I'm in a diversity class for education, and we're learning all about English language learners and how to teach students that speak multiple languages in our own classroom. So that's been really, really cool. We learn different things like how we can incorporate board games in learning and just different ways to help students. So that's been one of my favorite classes.
So my favorite class wasn't a class that I'm currently in, but it was a class I took my freshman year. So at Wesleyan, we have general education requirements. And a lot of times students come dreading those classes because you're like, I just want to do my major. That's what I'm here for. That's all I care about. But a lot of times the gen ed courses kind of introduce you to things that you didn't know you enjoyed or didn't know you were good at. So my favorite class was criminal justice. And I actually had the same professor for that class that my mom had when she went to Wesleyan. And having that class just kind of showed me that I actually enjoy that side of things. So I ended up taking business law after that and have grown an interest in the law side of things.
So like Sarah, my favorite class is not one that I'm currently in, but I'm a total math nerd, right? So I really like Calc 3, because you got to see the three-dimensional applications of everything. And we learned how like CAT scans and MRIs use, different theories to produce the image. So mine was Calc 3 because I just like, the welding of the medical and math side of everything. So that was probably my favorite. But
Awesome. So next question, how have you been able to make friends and get involved on campus? And Taylor and Vincent, we've got a student in here right now that's he's looking at us and he's coming from Hawaii. So whenever you guys are talking about it, kind of talk about how you navigated the time change and, what really brought you to Wesleyan. And with you guys, I'm assuming you never got to visit campus beforehand. So it was a completely new adventure for you guys. So once we get to you all, kind of talk about that a little bit too. But Will, if you want to start off as you're taking a drink, my fault.
Absolutely. So it was actually pretty easy making friends here on campus. I really just joined organizations that, pulled in my interest, right? So math club, chem club, all that good stuff, right? But probably the biggest thing was joining Greek life. At first I didn't want to do that, but I've made some of my best friends being a part of SIGEP. Vinny, he's a SIGEP with me. So, probably that, and also just putting myself out there in the sense of joining other things that I wouldn't have beforehand, like SIGEP and all that. But just plugging into the campus and doing that, it's been really beneficial to make friends and really get involved, peer tutoring, stuff like that. So yeah.
Like Will said, I'm involved in Greek life and I was a little hesitant at first, but also like Will said, he just joined clubs that interested him. And I did that as well, but I also noticed that there were clubs that I wish we had on campus. So it's really easy if you have a need for something, but it doesn't exist on campus for you to start your own organization. I started Every Life Matters Week on campus, which is an organization that focuses on suicide prevention. And this year will be our second year doing it. I started as a freshman. And so that's something I know, like we had an interest for archery, didn't have it on campus. That's something you can start up and all you have to do is have an advisor.
It's just kind of talking about coming from like 1,000 miles away to come to Wesleyan. So yeah, I knew absolutely no one coming into Kentucky Wesleyan. But I felt very fortunate in the way that just the admissions office made me feel really, really welcome from the beginning. I know I had Matt Ruark sending me text messages almost every day, like, get your application in, did you file for financial aid? So even though I didn't know anyone, the minute I got on campus, people already knew my name from just pictures I'd sent and things like that. So even within the first week, it kind of already felt like Wesleyan was my home. And now I consider it my second home, definitely. And I know Vincent would probably agree with that. When I first came, I really didn't get involved right away. I focused solely on grades, and I read every single textbook like 3 times before coming to class and was a little extra about it. But that's actually how I made the most friends. I was the one making Quizlets, holding study sessions. And so everyone kind of was like, oh, Taylor will help you with, this, this, and this. And that kind of became where I was utilized the most. So the Student Success Center reached out to me and asked me to start tutoring my classes. And that's when I made friends. I met Vincent and Will that way as well. So just kind of everyone sort of took an interest in me. So it wasn't even me kind of putting myself out there. It was Wesleyan, really, really accepting me and loving on me. And so no matter where you're from, you're going to definitely be accepted here within a week or two of when you arrive.
Yeah, like Taylor said, KWC, it's very friendly here, awesome community. But like coming from so far away, it can be scary at times. Like my best advice is taking chances on things that you even have just even a little bit of interest in. Or someone that seems a little cool, ask them like, you want to go do this or do that. What's it called? Taylor, for example. I met her my freshman year. Me and her and a couple other people just decided to go downtown and get pizza, I think. And so like 3 years later, we're still friends. And this was all because we just randomly did it. No one planned it. We're like, you guys want to go get pizza? Like, yeah, sure. And so that's why I said, just take a chance. You never know what may come of it. Me and Taylor are still good friends till this day.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And another thing that we do for you all as an admissions staff, we will create an Instagram group for every incoming class. So this year we just started up our Instagram 2025, I think it is. Yeah, so we do that. We invite all of our deposited students to join in that group. That way you can reach out and you can meet people that are coming to Wesleyan that way too. So just something else that we offer you all as well. Going on to question 4, what have been some of your favorite experiences at Kentucky Wesleyan? Will, you want to start off with that?
Sure. Probably Greek week. I love it. That's what this past week has been. You just get to see the competitive side of everybody. And so I really appreciate that. Also, I really appreciate Scholars Day because that's when everybody gets recognized for the hard work that they put in. So, I like that because I get to appreciate what my buddies do and all that, but Greek week and Scholars Day are definitely up there because you get to see the strengths of everyone. So that's what I like.
Some of my favorite events are also during Greek week, but I'd have to say K-Dub Idol is probably my favorite, and that's kind of like our version of American Idol. And also sometimes during Kappa Delta weeks, we have a talent show. And those two events, you see someone who's on the basketball team, a total like athlete, come up on stage and sing better than anybody I've ever seen. And it's kind of crazy that you never know people have these talents. Or during the talent show, Malia gets on stage and does a full dance routine, or someone clogs or does Irish step dancing. And it's stuff you never knew people knew how to do. And people just let all their walls come down and let loose. And I think that's one of the most fun experiences I've had.
Personally, I love right before finals, our Nurse Tanya puts on the stress-free zone. And the week before finals, they bring in like massage therapists, people will come and cut your hair. They bring in dogs and bunnies and just different animals. And so just during finals, in between your finals, you can go down to the Rogers Hall, and it's just a whole hall full of photo booths and painting and animals to pet and just all your friends. And so it's a really fun thing the college puts on for us. And I always look forward to it whenever things start to get too stressful.
Will took the one I was going to say, but like another event that I really like will have to be midnight movie. So was it once a month, I believe? KWC, they'll rent out one of the movie theaters out here in Owensboro. And so it's just such an amazing experience to go to the movies at midnight. So all of your friends are in there watching the same movie with you, reacting at the same time. And like, depending on what movie it is, it can be scary, it can be funny, but just like being able to be there and have that ambiance and just seeing all your friends, it can be awesome at times.
Great. And then final question, what advice would you give high school students as they make their transition into college and make their college decision? Vincent, you want to take that one?
I would have to say, pick a place where you feel like you can develop a community, especially if you're coming from somewhere very far away. That support system is what's going to keep you going. So like school can be very stressful at times. Like just life can be stressful or scary. So going to a college here at KWC, that's how I feel. I feel like I have a community here. So having a place where you can be supported and someone can like give you advice or be able just to take you to get coffee or something, it can be awesome and can be what makes or breaks your experience at college.
My advice would be to do all the cheesy things between like senior year and your freshman year of college, like go on college tours and take embarrassing pictures with your mom. Go to, the back to school sales at Walmart, make a Pinterest of what you want your college dorm to look like. I think that was like one of my favorite times of my life was like opening, the admissions office letters and, looking up at things at night and just, it's such an exciting time. So just make sure to really, really enjoy it and enjoy being a senior, but really look forward to college and do all the things that come along with that. And don't let yourself be embarrassed by any of it.
So my advice would be similar to Taylor, be involved in everything. And if you get invited to go to like Scholars Academy at Wesleyan, I got invited and it was the inaugural class. And Wesleyan wasn't really on my radar. I was dead set on going to Louisville. I'm a huge Louisville fan. But then I came to Scholars Week the summer of my junior year and fell in love with the campus. Matt and Becca knew my name right off the bat. You were greeted like you were at a family reunion. And definitely, even if it's not Wesleyan, if you're invited to anything like that, take a chance and go because you never know what school you're going to fall in love with. And another thing, I would always recommend just look up people who go to that school and message them on Instagram and say, hey, what is this like at Wesleyan? Or if you know someone who goes to Wesleyan, I know we're always welcome to answer any questions you guys have.
So everybody pretty much stole what I was going to say, too. But first off, pray, right? Because it's a big decision and it's scary at first, but you got the big man in your corner, right? So definitely take advantage of that and pray on it. But relating to what Vinny said, go somewhere where you can really see yourself and have that community around you. Just, go somewhere where you can grow as an individual, a scholar, and a leader and all that. But yeah, just pray on it and go somewhere where you can actually see yourself being there and taking advantage and just, having fun and all that good stuff.
Awesome. So we have Sarah, you were already answering in the group chat. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it because it's our first student question. Josiah wanted to know, did you have a plan after high school? And then I want to add something else in there. If you did have a plan, did it change? How did it change? And where are you at now with it? So that's a multi-part question, but yeah. Will, if you want to try to tackle that first.
Sure. So I actually did have a plan in the sense of that I came to KW. Okay, let's backtrack. I didn't have a plan on where to go. Okay. And then KW, it like fell right in my lap and I fell in love with the school. Coming onto campus, I had a plan of wanting to be a pediatrician actually. But after going to those math classes and stuff, like I said, huge math nerd, realize how much I like the math courses and everything encompassing that. So the experiences here at Wesleyan actually shaped my career path now and what I'm looking forward to in the future. And so that's what I'm thankful for KWC for, is helping me find that plan, and kind of getting rid of the one that I had beforehand, but ultimately leading me in the right direction and setting up the plan I have now. So that's all I got.
Like I said in the chat, I had a plan. I was dead set on going to pharmacy school after Wesleyan, was going to be a biology major, all the science stuff. And then through my gen ed courses freshman year, I kind of discovered that I was really interested in business. I come from a family who majored in business and owned their own businesses. And I always found it interesting, but didn't think it was for me. But then I shortly discovered that was what I was meant to do. So now I already have a job set up. I'm going to be a brand ambassador and I'm going to get to travel the country representing brands. My first event is right after graduation at the Derby. So you never know. You think your world is crashing when your plans change, but it can always work out for the better.
And Sarah, like you said earlier, your plans changed before you even got to college because you were dead set on Louisville and then that changed and now you're here with us.
I've been very fortunate in the way where since I was in first grade, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. And so for me knowing what I wanted to do in college has never changed, but where it was going to happen was very different. I had a school all picked out that was 40 minutes from my house. I had my roommate picked out. I knew all my classes. I visited. I was wearing the shirts to school. You know how you do. And so I was very, very dead set on that. And then I visited Wesleyan and then I was like, oh no, I'm meant to be here. And so within, I think it was like 3 weeks, I had canceled everything in the school I was like already packed and ready to go to, and was on my way to Kentucky, which was, probably 27 hours further than I was expecting to go for college. But I've never regretted it. And I really know that even though I had a plan, there was a much bigger plan actually in place for me.
I was a bit all over the place when I was a senior in high school. I applied to, I think, 11 different schools, like in varying parts of the country. And like, honestly, KWC wasn't on my radar at the time. I just did it because like my coach, he's like, you need to apply for the school. I was like, okay, coach, I'll do it. And then like after like interacting with people from KWC, Matt's awesome. Interacting with him and I guess, and like just considering like my options, I decided that KWC was just it. Like I didn't unlike some other people, I didn't get the chance to even visit the school. So my first day on campus was my first day in the state of Kentucky. And so so that was awesome. It's you never know what's going to happen. I thought I was going to go to UNLV. That was the plan. Like Taylor said, about 40 minutes away from my house. But sometimes, like in the grand scheme of things, like plans change. Like God, I felt like God was leading me to KWC.
All right. Are there any other questions that the students have? For our students, I'm looking in the group chat, but yeah. While we're waiting on that, Vincent and Taylor, talk about communicating with your family, communicating with your friends, how that is coming. I mean, you guys are only 2 hours behind us, correct? In Vegas, and Hawaii, I think is 4, maybe 5. And I know that's something we had in our last student panel. They were worried about the time change. So how have you guys navigated that and like getting back to see your family at times and the communication and travel and all that stuff?
For me personally, it's kind of been something I've really enjoyed because it makes me value the time I get with my parents, with my family a lot more. I remember at first I would like call my mom to ask her for permission to do things like, hey, can I hang out here at night? And realizing I didn't have to do that took a little while. But the time change I felt like it never really affected me too much. Maybe I would sleep in a little bit extra, a couple of like the traveling days. Most of the time, you're just so excited to be back either with your family or with your friends, you don't notice it much. And it's been really great. I mean, with FaceTime, with Zoom, with being able to talk to your family through video chat, while you do get a little bit homesick, usually, especially your freshman year, you're with a bunch of other people who are homesick. So you're kind of able to talk to one another about it. I know Vincent and he used to like read us books his mom would send him, and we'd all get so homesick, but it was just really great. And so there's definitely a lot of support if you are homesick, but more than anything, you're going to be having so much fun that you're sending some pictures back home to your family, and that's going to be the way you communicate for a little while until you get on a better schedule.
Nice. And then Abigail Reed also said that she's from Vegas. You know what high schools you guys went to?
I went to Northwest Career and Technical Academy.
I went to Desert Pines High School. But what was the question again? I forgot.
How do you navigate the time change and being so far away from your family and the communication and travel back and forth and stuff?
So with the time change, like I used to be a morning person, but because of the time change, it hit me hard. So I was going to sleep around 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. But I had 8 a.m.s. So that was unfortunate. But because I had the 8 a.m.s, like right after I got out of class, I would just call like my family because they would just be getting up around that time. And so like that and creating like a group chat with like my friends or like my families that I wanted to stay in contact with, you're able to do it. Like my mom, like she always called me every single day. She wanted to hear what was happening, like did I eat enough food, that type of stuff. So it is possible, and like you do get used to it. Like my mom now, all my family now, like they're used to me like going back and forth, and like you get adjusted to it, and it becomes a custom.
Nice, thank you. And then for you more local students here, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. Will, what's it like staying at home? I mean, I don't know if we have local students here. And then Sarah, I know you thought about going away to school a little bit further, and you're less than an hour away now. Kind of what's it been like for you? Do you go back often, or is it something where you found yourself kind of staying here in Owensboro and on campus and stuff? So Will and Sarah, if y'all want to go ahead with this.
Yeah, so being a commuter really at KW isn't all too different from being a residential student, other than you're not on campus all the time, right? But I know for me personally, before the pandemic and everything hit, I tried to be on campus as much as I could to still get that interaction and that feel for campus. KWC, they even have like a commuter lounge if you are going to commute and you are local, to where that's your space, right? That's your space to hang out and all that good stuff. But being local, I have really taken advantage of KWC in the sense of I still try to be there as much as I can to get the most out of it. So being local, it doesn't take too much away from your experience. So at least in my situation.
So like Jamie said, I was going to go to Louisville. I was dead set on going to a big school. And I kind of was hesitant about Wesleyan because I've always heard how small it is. But I've come to realize that, you can walk onto campus and you don't know, there's people you don't know. You can always make new friends. I'm a senior and I lived on campus the first 3 years, and there's still people that I might have lived next to that like I was friends with their roommate, but not them. Like there's chances to make friends all 4 years up until the day you graduate, even after. But I actually drove home a lot freshman year. I was terrified of staying on campus. I was one of those kids that was like, I'm scared to use these showers. I'm scared to be away from my mom. And then I started making a lot of good friends who kind of encouraged me to stay on campus more. And so then I've been in Owensboro ever since. I have an apartment now, and I'm probably going to stay in Owensboro after I graduate because I kind of fell in love with it. And just Owensboro is like the perfect size. It's not too big of a city. It's not as small as my hometown. So I think it's a really good combination of the two.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So last question. We've only got like 3 or 4 more minutes. What was your guys' transition like from high school to college? Oh, Will, you can start.
Okay. So my transition from high school to college, I'm kind of a panicky perfectionist, right? And that's not a good combination to have, but you got to give yourself some grace, right? Because it's a new time in your life, it's new situations, you're on your own for the most part. So for me, it was a little stressful, right? But everything that requires change is stressful. So at the time, I didn't, I thought that it was just going to be a lot of craziness, but you just got to push through, right? So at the end of the day, the transition wasn't all too bad because KW, they have a lot of resources that are available to help you, right? The Student Success Center, if you're slacking in classes a little bit, they have tutors and people on standby that are ready to pick you up. So the transition really wasn't all too bad. So, but that's my point of view.
The transition can be bad if you don't take advantage of everything KW has to offer. If you try to go through it like you just slid through high school, you can get through it, but it's going to be harder. If you take advantage of everything we have to offer, the transition is easy. You might even I like college classes more than I ever liked high school classes. Even though they're more difficult, I feel like I enjoy this type of learning a lot more because of the opportunities we have.
I think the best way to describe is like the transition felt very happy, I think I was just so excited to kind of get my own independence and get to see what campus had for me. Being able to learn every day in a classroom, something you're really passionate about, is so different from what happens in your high school. And just, waking up and being like, I can do whatever I want with my day, and it's things I love to do, is just really, really, really exciting. So I think as long as you're confident in what you want to be able to do or what you enjoy doing, and then being able to bring that into college, you'll be okay.
In high school, I was like one of those people that took all the AP classes, was in 5 clubs, sports, all at the same time. So when I came to college, it was actually kind of like a fresh of breath air. Like I stopped, I was like, you know what? I don't know anything about this place. Let me figure out like what I like, who I want to hang out with. And then also with classes, the professors here care so much. Like they want you to come to their what's called their hours. So being able to ask questions along with the small class sizes, it all helps and it makes it easy. It's not as bad as you think it's going to be, but it is scary because it's something brand new, but it's not as bad as you think.
All right, thank you guys so much. If you all have any closing remarks, I'll go ahead and let you guys get the last word in right now. But if not, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you guys answering questions and letting all of these students know what it's like to be a Panther and part of the Wesleyan family. And then Kate, I guess we can turn it to you if you guys don't have anything else to say. Awesome.
All right. Students, thank you so much. We always appreciate you guys. And I know that the students who were on the call really appreciated hearing your perspective and everything. So thank you again so much. All right. Well, that is basically the end of our day today for Panther Preview. Like I mentioned at the beginning, we do have an optional tour video if you have not been able to visit campus. And you would like to stay on for this, you certainly are welcome to. If you have been on a campus visit or you're not really interested in watching our tour video, you are more than welcome to go ahead and hop off of the call now. We really appreciate you guys joining us. If you do have any questions or anything that we could help with, please feel free to reach out to us. You all should have gotten a text and an email from me last night and this morning. So definitely feel free to reach out to me at any point. And if I am not the person with the answer, I will make sure to get you in touch with someone who is. All right, so we'll go ahead and start our tour video now. One thing I do want to mention is that when we filmed this, for some reason, in transition, there are a few points where it's difficult to hear him at the beginning. So just realize that, unfortunately, that's just how the video turned out, just the first several seconds, but you should be able to hear him beyond that point. So I'll go ahead and get that going now.
Welcome to Kentucky. My name is Evan Morton. I'm a student ambassador, and I'm going to be giving you your tour today. Here we are on the first floor of the Bernard Jones Administration Building. This is what they call your one-stop shop. We have financial aid, admissions, the business office, cashier, registrar. Moving on down to our Tapscott Chapel and President's office. Located right here in the lobby, we also have our Alumni Hall of Fame. But other than that, we are Methodist affiliated. So we do offer chapel services every Wednesday at 12:12. They're optional for students. Down by Tapscott Chapel, we do have our president's office. This is Dr. Mitchell's first full year here at KWC. He is a really cool guy, wants to get to know you and talk to you on a first name basis. He also has a open door policy. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about Wesleyan, he's your go-to guy. The next stop on our tour is the 4th floor, which is the Center for Business Studies. Business administration, anything to do with that. Over here to my right, we have a small conference room, kitchenette type deal, perfect for students to hang out, study. They use this as a way to have mock conferences for our business majors, giving them a little bit of experience for life after college. Right here, we have office 410. This is actually a professor's office. Right across the hallway, we have classroom space. This just shows you how close students are to our professors. For the most part, they always have their office hours posted. They have an open door policy, so if you ever see a professor in there, you need help before class, after class, questions about the syllabus or homework, head on in there and ask your professor. Currently, we are standing in an average size classroom here at KWC. Average class sizes are about 20 students. We have a 13:1 student to faculty ratio, so you can always expect personal relationships between your professor and your classmates. Our students here at KWC really like the small class sizes. right here on the corner, we have our Office of Campus Ministries. So when the glowing open sign is on, that just means someone's in there to help you. Feel free to walk in there. Director Sean Toms is in there. He's a super great guy. He goes by his first name. He's more of a friend to you than anybody. But Campus Ministries does all kinds of different events on campus and just has a great big role in campus life and involvement. Our first stop here in the Winchester Center is actually in front of our SSC, or Student Success Center. So the cool thing about the SSC is that this is where all tutoring hours happen. And all of our tutors are actually Wesleyan students who have just taken the class and got a really good grade in it. So we tutor in math, biology, English, reading, all sorts of subjects. Other resources in the SSC include career development, so go there, have a mock job interview. They can help you write a resume, get a job while you're in college, have a job waiting for you before you even graduate. So tons of different resources that the SSC offers. A few more stops here in our Winchester Center. We have our mail room. It's actually a full working post office, so you can send and receive packages right here to campus. We also have our 24-hour convenience store. Go in there, grab you a snack, drink, late at night, before class, after class, as well as our Panther Den spirit store where you can go grab some clothes. Don't be confused, this is not an actual bookstore. We offer a virtual bookstore for students where they can conveniently order their books, have them sent straight to campus. The next stop on our tour is Smith Lounge in Rogers Hall. So Smith Lounge, you can see, is the perfect place to come study, eat lunch. We also have computers and printers in the back so you can print stuff off at the last minute. Right here on the wall, we have our Student Activities Programming Board. The cool thing about this is that we host midnight movies, take kids to concerts, kayaking trips, trivia, bingo. Majority of these events happen right here on campus in Rogers Hall. Rogers is actually our largest event space on campus, which you all will be able to see when you get to come take your campus tour. I'm standing in front of the doors of the College Student Life Office, where we have our housing director, dean of students, assistant dean of students, activity director. I always like to say, if you have a question about anything, head on into Student Life. If they can't get your question answered, they'll point you in the right direction. Oh, hey. So I'm currently ordering food at the grill right now. This is to-go style meals. So you just put your order in here at the computer, they'll spit out a to-go meal. It's perfect for if you're busy, you'll have lots of lunch meetings. Just take your food with you. Aside from smoothies and yogurt and muffins, this is also a full working Starbucks. So the grill can fix any drink that a typical Starbucks can. Right behind me, we have a whole wall dedicated to our Student Government Association. They play a very prominent role on campus where they support all of our organizations, supply them with the funding needed to keep the organization going and get involvement going on campus as well. We have tons of different organizations, including Black Student Union, PRISM, Student Activities Programming Board, and Sierra Club. So we have stuff that applies to everyone and their needs. Behind me is the Howard Greenlaw Library Learning Center, which has IT services, many different study rooms, as well as CEDL. CEDL is the Center for Engaged Teaching and Learning. Their purpose is to find you a study abroad opportunity and scholarships for study abroad, as well as get you involved in the community through community service activities. Across from our library, up these stairs around the corner, is actually our Hawker Dining facility. So this is your typical swipe in, sit down buffet cafeteria style meals where they have an ever-changing menu. We even start a meatless Monday to better suit some of our students. This concludes our tour of the Winchester Center. We're actually going to head past the quad into one of our freshman dormitories. So this big grassy area right here, this is our quad. Sometimes out in the middle you can see a big burn spot. That's just where we have a bonfire for the freshmen each year. But even in the spring times, the field team will practice, so you'll see students walk in and throwing their javelin, shot put, sitting out here studying, tanning, playing volleyball, throwing a football. It's just a big multi-purpose event space for students. So currently we're standing in front of Deacon Hall. This is actually our oldest dormitory on campus. You can see that we have Greek letters. This hall is actually predominantly Greek, but you do not have to be Greek to live here. It's also co-ed community style, so this hosts out as boys, that hosts out as girls. Now we do have 3 fraternities and 2 sororities on campus, and as you can see, their chapter rooms are here. We do not offer typical Greek housing, but we still offer spaces for our Greeks to coordinate meetings and hang out. So next on our tour, we're actually going to check out a room in Kendall Hall. It's our predominantly freshman dorm, so follow me. So So we're here in the lobby of Kendall Hall. We have our small kitchenette behind us. This is accessible for all students on campus, as well as a TV here in the lobby. We have lobbies on each floor with a TV and our own Hulu and Netflix accounts. Kendall is also card swipe accessible. So with being community co-ed style, you have to use your card swipe to get into each residence hall. We have RAs on each floor that help coordinate events, keep residents safe, and answer all their questions. Let's check out a room in Kendall Hall. So this is a typical dorm room in Kendall Hall. You have the option to loft the bed, raise the bed, bunk them, however you'd like. You and your roommate will each get your own wardrobe, your desk. The only restrictions are one microwave, one refrigerator, and of course, no pets. So all laundry services are in the basement, and you can do laundry whenever you'd like, have as many TVs as you'd like, decorate the room however you'd like. Just make sure you're not nailing any holes or painting the walls. So we're here in the Woodward Health and Recreational Center. We have Jones Gymnasium behind me, as well as athletic offices, training rooms. We have a small auxiliary gym and some classrooms as well. So the only athletic event that's actually played here is by our women's volleyball team. Men's and women's basketball, they're gonna play at the Sports Center on Parrish Avenue, about a mile away. But all students have access to get into games for free as long as they have their student ID. So Kentucky Wesleyan College is a NCAA Division II school. We are a member of the Great Midwest Athletic Conference, and you can see here many of the trophies and accolades that we've won over the past couple of years. Fun fact about our men's basketball team, they actually hold the most national championships, which is a record at 8. So right here behind me, this large house is actually our president's house. Dr. Mitzel, his wife, their 2 dogs, they live here all year round. They host various events such as alumni events in the house. Down this way, we have our baseball field as well as stadium apartments. And on this backside of campus, we also have our Ralph Center, which is for fine arts, theater. There's a Mac lab. Behind the president's house, we have the soccer field. And to the right of that is actually Still Stadium for football. Come on into the UHA Center for the Sciences. Here we stand in the rotunda of the UHA Center for the Sciences. This houses our chemistry, biology, zoology, mathematics, physics department, as well as laboratories for those classes and student research labs. So we're actually gonna go to the second floor and check out a chemistry lab. So welcome to the chemistry floor of the UHA Center for the Sciences. Here to my left, we actually have one of our chemistry labs. So, like I was talking about earlier, students actually have the opportunity to conduct research as well as present that at various conferences in Kentucky. Lining the walls of the Hahn Center, we also have those scholarship awards as well as pictures of our past alumni. Right here, we have a picture of Dr. Yuha Khan himself. He was a KWC class graduate of 1958, and he is who the Hahn Center is actually named after. He invented laser optics, and we have a whole trophy case right over here dedicated to his research and findings. I'm sitting in classroom 106. This is actually our largest classroom on campus. It's comparable to other larger universities' lecture halls that seat around 300 students. Ours just seats 50. So this right here is Minerva. She's the Greek goddess of wisdom. There are actually 4 Minervas on the administration building at our Winchester campus. And when it burnt down in 1905, she was the only thing that survived. So Minerva has traveled campus to campus with us. We've been at Owensboro for almost 70 years. And as you can see, she's been spray painted. It is a tradition for KWC students to come and spray paint Minerva in the middle of the night. You can get cans of spray paint in the student life office. Many organizations on campus make it their goal to keep Minerva spray painted for the longest. Concluding our tour, we have our notable alumni wall. These are alumni that are currently doing great big things within their career field of choice, from internal medicine to special operations. We also have alumni that work in Hawaii with animals and are even actors. So you can see that your possibilities here at Kentucky Wesleyan College are endless. So go ahead and ask yourself, are you the next big thing? This concludes our virtual tour. We would love to see you all in person, so schedule a visit at kwc.edu/visit. I may even be your student ambassador. Hello, welcome
All right, everyone. Well, that was the end of the virtual tour. It is definitely nothing like actually coming to campus. So if you are able to do that, I highly encourage you to do so. I know we put the link to that visit website where you can schedule one of those in the chat above. But highly encourage you to come to campus. There's nothing like actually walking around and seeing it in person. And typically it will be a current student that actually gives you your tour as well. So they're a great person to get to know, and you can ask questions and things like that. So that is the end of Panther Preview Day. Thank you all so much for joining us. Jamie and I will stay on for a couple minutes if any of you do have questions or anything, but we hope you have a great day, and thank you again.